It's time for Respect the Process, a short chat about commercial filmmaking. Here's your host, director Jordan Brady.
Well, thank you, Helen. Listeners, it is July 3rd, 2025. Typically, the 4th of July weekend is one of my favorite holidays because I love being an American, I love conscious capitalism, and I love freedom. Now, I'm going to spare you my personal politics, but if you follow me on social media, you know that I am upset, disappointed, angry about what is happening with ICE raids taking innocent people off the streets. I thought we were going to get the criminals and the drug kingpins and the murderers, but I'm seeing people with fruit stands, day laborers, and people hoping to get picked up for a day gig at Home Depot being deported. And the fact that the administration makes comical memes, like supposedly comical memes about Alligator Alley, is just pure racism. But I'm going to spare you my politics until the end of the show. What I want to talk about is how I love the movie F1, the dreamy Brad Pitt, and that amazing director, Joseph Kosinski. Helen, let's reach out to his people and see if we can get Joseph Kosinski on the show. But I'm not going to give you any spoilers. What I want to tell you is, it's the perfect movie to see to inspire you to create and to invest in yourself. Because before he directed Top Gun Maverick, and before Brad Pitt trusted him to capture him driving real F1 race cars, on real tracks, by the way, he was a guy with an architecture degree and a dream. So he went to Columbia, and in his spare time, in his apartment, I don't know how he did it, he made a CGI short called Desert H2O Use. And it was a response to these architectural, like, fly-through videos, but he put a soul into it. And it's about 2.5 minutes, if that, right? And he screened it in ResFest and at SIGGRAPH. These are like nerdy, early CG digital film festivals. And a Nike exec saw it, a creative from Wieden and Kennedy, and I don't know if he approached him afterwards or what, but he gave him his first commercial. It was a breakthrough commercial for Gears of War, and it featured the song Mad World, and it was haunting, cinematic, emotional. And it was originally meant for David Fincher, but Fincher basically recommended Kosinski. And from there, he did Tron Legacy, then Oblivion with Tom Cruise, a couple other movies, then Maverick, which got a DGA, Directors Guild of America nomination. So F1, it's real cars, it's real drivers. You've seen the special camera rig that he and his DP, they wanted to move the cameras, so they built this like remote control swivel head that would go from the POV out the windshield to 180 or more to get the dreamy Brad Pitt's face using the servo-controlled panning heads. And they trained for months. They drove on real tracks. It's a great movie, right? So it's not just the direction, it's the design and the innovation. My lovely wife, Jeanette Godoy, talented filmmaker in her own right, we went to the screening at the DGA in Los Angeles where Joseph did I'm on first name basis with him, Helen. He did a Q&A, and just listening to him answer these technical questions and how he met with this real-life F1 driver, a legend, and I don't follow the sport, but the guy talked about getting into this dreamy flow state when you're driving that was really hard to achieve. And oh boy, we got to fly over, Helen. We're going to leave it in, Jake. There's some shenanigans going on in the neighborhood. That is, I don't know what that is. It could be the National Guard. They're all over L.A. So he's talking to this F1 legendary driver. I wish I could remember his name. And he said, you get to this flow state and you get to this, it's a dreamlike thing. And that inspired the soul of the script and the movie for Kosinski. It's not Kosinski, it's Kosinski. So my takeaway was when the moderator said, how did you get ready for this movie? And he said, everything I've done up to this point in my career has prepared me for F1. And it's a great story, and there's podcasts and interviews with him and press junkets and everything. But when he talked about starting with that one short film that he made on his own, it said two things to me. Luck is preparation meets opportunity, right? So he had some luck. But more importantly, he invested in himself. He made a short and submitted it to festivals. He wasn't even pursuing filmmaking 100% of the time, right? And when you show up prepared, good things happen. And someone saw the film, and that led to an opportunity of a lifetime. And I remember that Gears of War commercial because it was the first real live action video game commercial. Instead of just clips of the video game, they actually shot stuff. It was a big budget. It was Wyden and Kennedy. And it got the Mad World track to number one after being years off the charts, right? So I'm just going to go backwards here. 2025, F1, Apple original films. Back in the day, who thought Apple, makers of the iPod Nano, would be producing films? The dreamy Brad Pitt stars in this high-octane Formula One drama. Bruckheimer produces, and it's amazing. You got to see it. And no spoilers, I just loved it. The actors are great, too. The young man who plays his teammate / mentee is it's a great performance. Go back to Top Gun Maverick, 2022. Career-defining movie for Kosinski. Oscar-winning, global hit, practical stunts, aerial realism, and emotional storytelling. I didn't see Spiderhead, which was a sci-fi thriller. I didn't see Only the Brave. I did see Oblivion with Tom Cruise, with its sleek production design and real-world LED production, minimum green screen use. And, of course, his debut film, Tron Legacy, which you can really see. If you watch those shorts, you could see how Tron Legacy was right up his alley, because it was a big visual leap for the Tron universe, and it had groundbreaking VFX. The commercials, let's start with Nike Art of Speed, which was a big commercial after the Nike creatives at Wyden saw the digital short at ResFest. It had motion design, it had a sensibility, kinetic storytelling. It was a signature point of view. Then, of course, I talked about Gears of War, and that led to Halo 3, this cinematic teaser that was the emotive storytelling that we had not seen with the poetic visuals in game advertising. The short film, CGI, it's short. We don't even say CGI anymore, Helen. We just abbreviate to CG. And there's another one called iSpec that I haven't been able to find yet. So here's a guy who's studying mechanical engineering and architecture. Invests in himself, makes a short film, goes to festivals, does commercials. Commercials are groundbreaking, leads to Tron. Boom. He never waited for permission. He built his reel with his strong point of view. That's all I got, folks. That's all I got. I will tell you that there are some seats left. They're not really seats, Helen. They're spots. We're not sitting all the time. We go on a hike for the Joshua Tree Retreat. I call it the Filmmaker Retreat Joshua Tree. It's our 4th year. It's so much fun to hang out with other filmmakers. The whole group has catered meals from the on-site cafe. It's called the Food for Thought Cafe because, Joshua Tree is kind of hippie. If you're thinking about it, do reserve your spot. It's September 25th through the 28th. You just get to Joshua Tree, to the retreat center, and everything's taken care of. Your own room with a blasting air conditioner, all the snacks, all the meals, the camaraderie, the courses. I was doing something for Instagram. The case study that I show actual Zoom calls where I'm pitching. And I'll tell you when I lost the gig, but more importantly, I'm going to show you where I won. And all the strategy and planning and homework that went into winning that job. And of course, I'm going to share the budget, how much I made, how much time it took, the whole process, like the life cycle of that commercial. And this is a real world example that I don't know where you're going to get anywhere else. But the most fun is learning from each other. And our goal is to define our voice and leave with actionable steps that we can take for the rest of the year into 2026. My lovely wife, Jeanette Godoy, helps run the thing with me. Last year, my EP, Kim Bradshaw, came out and talked about budgeting. We're going to coax her back out there. We take a hike into the national park. We take the party bus together in. It's just so much fun. It's not like spring break for filmmakers, but it is kind of like a summer camp vibe. Bring a sensible shoe. Actually, bring a hiking shoe because we go on these trails. They're very easy to do. There's plenty of hydration fluids. So if you have any questions, DM me, and I will load you up with online courses. Big question everyone asks, what about Magic Mind? Will there be Magic Mind at the retreat? The answer is yes. The Magic Mind people have it. Helen, did you see where Travis Scott and Erwan did a collab and he made a shake with Magic Mind? It's really blowing up. And I've been on this stuff for a couple years now. And I do a shot prior to this recording to try and stay focused, which may make some of you go, Jordan, well, you just kind of ramble. But it gets me in that flow state. It keeps me focused. It makes me forget about emails and phone calls and a meeting I have in 12 minutes and do the task at hand. Check that off and move to the next. So for a guy with ADHD and used to drink a lot of coffee, I don't know if it's the ashwagandha, the ceremonial grade matcha, all the vitamins, the lion's mane, but it does help me stay on task. And comedian Pete Holmes uses it, and he's one of my favorite comedians. So use the code Brady20, try it out, and let me know what you think. So the answer is yes, there will be Magic Mind for all of the filmmakers at the filmmaking retreat. It's not a filmmaking retreat. There's no hands-on. There's no cameras. We don't do an AI class. It's the filmmaker retreat. By golly, get it right, Jordan. Okay, that's all I have. If you have any questions about anything or suggestions for the show, I just appreciate everyone listening. And we've been doing this for 13 years now. My man, Jake Brady, keeping the podcast going and the pod snacks. We just appreciate everybody listening. So if you have a guest or you yourself want to talk on the podcast about your career and thoughts, you got questions about AI, you know how to find me. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thank you.
Commercial Directing Film School's mission is to help filmmakers direct commercials professionally. With online courses and in-person boot camps, we demystify the process to get you to the next level, all taught by your accessible mentor, filmmaker Jordan Brady.
True Gentleman Industries. We make commercials.